may I first say what a profound honour it is to be asked to speak at what is without doubt the second best university in England. Indeed, my elder brother Robert studied here in the mid-80s, and I can say with my hand on heart that I most certainly would have considered coming here had I not been already accepted at Cambridge, or for that matter, Edinburgh, or Bristol, or indeed Hull. It is also a great honour to be asked to address this venerable institution, and so follow in the footsteps of such illustrious predecessors as Winston Churchill, Albert Einstein, Malcolm X, and of course Rebecca Luce and the Cheeky Girls. Anyway, when I look at my fellow speakers, it is quite clear that I am actually one of the least academically qualified people here. Indeed, the very fact they let people like me into the city is indicative of the get-rich-quick lunatic asylum it became, and is perhaps part of the explanation of why we have the problems we have today. However, as far as I know, I am the only speaker who had the dubious pleasure of working in the city for a prolonged period over the last decade, the decade that Gordon Brown referred to as the age of irresponsibility. Hence, instead of trying to give an academic appraisal of the cause of the credit crunch, I thought I'd describe the reckless, short-term, semi-criminal mentality that I witnessed day in, day out in the heart of the beast. I do so because this mentality, itself a product of deregulation, the boom times and the bonus culture, turned both the Wall Street and the city into Wild West casinos and ultimately explains why the credit crunch occurred. I will argue that were it not for people like me, then you lot might actually have had jobs to go to when you leave this university. So I was a merchant banker, some would say in every sense of the word, for 12 long, hard years. I got the job by mistake. I somehow slipped through the net, and I think my former peers are now deeply regretting that decision. Over my time in the city, I saw major changes in the way investment banks operated, and there are a few reasons for this. Firstly, my young colleagues and I were continually told that the good times were going to roll for very little time. They were going to come to an end at any moment. Combine that viewpoint with the general belief that the city was a hire and fire world, and you can see why the obvious conclusion was that we were to make as much money as quickly as possible. So we made vast sums, and then we spent them on cocaine and strippers. And worse still, we wasted the rest.